сама собой, когда вокруг никого. Уничтожают все надежды, выбор будет за тобой. В этом маленьком мире, где покидала мечта, в теле маленькой девочки перевернулась судьба. Это не просто геймплей, это, наверное, часть жизни. Тебе дано все осознать и прочитать ее мысли с малых лет.
And tell us what inspired you to write the story in the first place. And where did you draw inspiration from? Perhaps your personal ghostly encounter from your own life as a source in inspiration.
Yeah, actually, you know, when I was a younger writer, I tended to write about the films that I liked or give my own version of certain games that I enjoyed. But since Heavy Rain, I started writing about my own life and the experience that I had. So Heavy Rain was about me becoming this young father and having this relationship with my son. And Beyond is about another event in my life. I just lost someone I felt really close to in my family. And I wanted to write something about death and what's on the other side.
Okay. And is Beyond Two Souls a video game that has a cinematographic feel or a cinematographic experience with playable interactive parts? And given the same budget, why did you choose to create a game instead of a film?
Actually, what I want to say first is that Beyond is truly a video game. It's fully playable second to second. So it's not this kind of, you know, story-driven game where you have very long, boring cutscenes and you press a button every 30 minutes. This is playable second to second and fully interactive. But still, it's about the story, it's about the life of this character, and it allows you just to be in the shoes of Jodie Holmes, the main protagonist, and to play your life. And what was interesting for me was really how players' actions could tell the story and how your choices could have consequences on the scenario.
As more Hollywood screenwriters and other talents and involved in script writing, more resources might be required to put all of the ideas into the game. Did it get a little more costly to make such a story-driven game like Beyond?
Well, writing the script of Beyond was a lot of work. The script is about 2,000 pages. Usually a film is about 100 pages, just to give you an idea. It's been a year in writing, then a year in shooting pretty much every day with about 160 actors. And it's been 1 year in post-production working on assembling the game, filming the game, and tuning, balancing the gameplay. So it's been quite a long production. But I really enjoyed it, and my role as the director was really, as the writer and director, was really to set the vision for the game and make sure that the artistic direction would be consistent all the way through.
Yeah, okay. I know that you have tested the limits of motion capture in making this game. It looks as if the actors were performing a stage play in the real time recorded from all camera angles. Could you tell us a bit more about this newly developed performance capture technology used in your game, and what is the next big thing in making more photorealistic cinematic game?
Well, actually, Beyond was shot using this technique called performance capture. Performance capture was used by James Cameron on Avatar or by Peter Jackson on Tintin in the film industry. And with Beyond, we wanted very realistic acting, very realistic actors. So we scanned the face of Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe. So a 3D scan is like a 3D picture of someone. So we can recreate them exactly the way they are. And then we went on the motion capture stage just to capture their movements and their voice to use them on the avatar that we created. So we recreate them entirely in real time in the game so the player can play with them and really tell the story.
Tell you what, I'm a big fan of a movie, Inception, and there are actually quite many Ellen Page fans in Hong Kong. What made you choose Ellen Page to personify Jodie Holmes, and share with us the funniest moment working with her?
So, as a writer, I'm used to find images of actors just to put in my script, so I have someone to look at when I write, and I try to imagine how they would react in the situation. And one of the first images that I found was an image of Ellen from one of the first indie films that she shot, and she had an incredible look on this image. She looked incredibly strong and angry, and at the same time she's just this tiny girl who's so fragile and vulnerable, and I thought, wow, this is exactly who my character should be. And as I kept writing, I was just getting more and more images of Ellen Page at different ages, and when I was done with the script, I thought, wow, this is the only actress who can actually be Jodie Holmes and beyond. So we asked her, and she agreed to be a part of this project. She was really excited, and she's done an amazing job shooting Beyond. There are so many stories that I could tell you about how we shot together. I know we laughed a lot, especially when she had to play with all these silly props that we used on set. But no, it was overall a lot of fun working together.
In the game, the complex dialogue system in D offers many possibilities. How will choice affect the story or even the game's ending?
Well, actually in the game, the player can make many choices, many decisions, and his decisions have consequences, and these consequences change the plot. So it's not just about dialogues, it's about pretty much everything you can do in the game, and it's also about what you fail, what you succeed, and the consequences of your actions. So this is really how it works. You have different paths leading to about 23 different possible endings.
Okay, taking control of the spiritual entity, Aiden is interesting. Okay, how did you characterize someone you never see that has no face, no voice, but still the player has a feeling for who Aiden is?
Actually, that was one of the major challenges in the script, was to write a character that we never see and still give him a personality. I really didn't want Aiden just to be a pet or a power. I really wanted him to be a character. And what I tried to do is actually telling about who he is through his relationship with Jodie and how they interact together. And sometimes Aiden can be very nice and protective with Jodie, but also sometimes he can be very possessive or jealous or even violent. And sometimes they have the same goal, but sometimes they have a different agenda. And this is how the game works and how I try to create a real personality for Aiden.
Okay, more and more Hollywood production are set in the Far East. Will you consider adding such elements in your future projects? Maybe a Hong Kong-based cinematic game?
Yeah, definitely. I was talking about this possibility with a friend of mine this morning as we were walking in the streets of Hong Kong. I was saying this is a very cinematic city, actually, and there are incredible stories that could be told here, and there are some great games. Some games have been done in Hong Kong or used Hong Kong as a background, but I think it's definitely possible to create something very unique here, as there is such a unique atmosphere.
Okay, thank you, David.